Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brothers Take podcast, a podcast where nerdy brothers get together each and every week to talk primarily gaming. And in this week's episode, we're going to be doing that. My name is Chris, and I'm joined by my brothers Eric
Hello.
and Adam, who's back in the room once again.
Hello.
We're all back together, all three brothers, because this week the topic is actually suggested by Adam, and we were like, okay. Let's get you on and let's do this. And the topic is moments that we dread from games that we love. So all of these games that we're going to talk about are obviously games that we actually enjoy, that we like for the most part. But sometimes even a game you love just happens to put in a part or a section, maybe something that makes you scratch your head or really question or go, why the fuck did they do this? And then when you're going on the replay, you just dread having to get through that aspect or that part of that game yet again. And we'd love to hear from all you guys too. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you jump down into the comments to share your dreaded moments from the games that you love. Maybe there'll be some of the same ones that we bring up, or maybe you'll have completely different ones. Do share them. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for all future content. To those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on those moments you dread in the games that you love. But without further ado, let's talk gaming. Adam, I was delighted when you suggested this as a topic, because it really resonated with me. Because at the time, before we actually jump into the topic, at the time I was playing and I was on the ending of, I was literally on the final boss of the DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So this is the Order of Giants. And like you were like, oh, like what are moments that like you dread in games that you love? And I was like, this right fucking now. I hate this. I will never play this again. I'm hating this. If the DLC, and I really enjoyed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but if that DLC was just a section in the game that you had to play, I would not play that section ever again. I did not enjoy my time with the DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I found the puzzles way too hard, to the point of absolute annoyance and tedium. And the boss fight at the end was just a sponge who runs at you while you have to find very specific weapons that can hurt him. And it had my heart racing in a way that was just stressful and unenjoyable. And I was like, I like the base game of this. Like, I really enjoyed the game and I was looking forward to this DLC. But this, I hate all of it. All of it's maybe harsh. There's things I liked, moments, little, like the environments and things like that. But overall, I did not enjoy the DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And had it been part of the base game, it would absolutely tick that box of what you're talking about, which is games that you generally enjoy. Like, there are certainly not games where you go, 10 minutes in, I'm putting this down, it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you hit a moment that you go, fuck this, or, oh God, I don't want to do this again, or whatever that might be. But what made you suggest the topic in the first place?
So I think I think what's interesting is how you interpreted it, because obviously I gave
Are
him
we
the
all
whole
gonna have
explanation.
Are we all going to have a different interpretation of this?
I
hope
just said,
so.
yeah. So I was chatting to Pagan, and she was asking me, she was just generally saying like, are there any games that you just can't stop thinking about, right? So it's like you're going about your day, and those are games that you want to revisit, but maybe you're doing something else, you're playing something else at the moment, or you're really busy with something else. See, but those are games that like it's almost like going on holiday nearly. You just want to go back into those games. You just love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added, are there any like that have a moment in it that you dread, that they come up, that those moments come up? And I don't necessarily mean dread in a bad way. It's more like this moment, like you love this game so much, and then you're leading up to this moment, and you're like, oh no, this bit.
Right. So it could also be in a way that you like it.
Yeah, as in it's so fucking effective that you really just don't want to do this bit.
Okay, that has given me a complete. That's not the way I interpreted it at
I did
all.
not. I no, I
I
didn't interpret that.
absolutely interpreted it as like I love the game, but then there's a bit it's like I really don't want to play this bit. If I could skip this bit, I
Sure.
would. So that's
Sure.
really interesting. Eric, did you? What was your interpretation of the? I love when we have a completely different like.
No, my interpretation was similar to yours, Chris. So naturally, all the games that flooded into my head first were horror games because it's
Interesting.
when you're getting to that point where it's like, oh shit, it's that enemy, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
Like I suppose it's when we're going up to the dollhouse in Resi 8. We don't even know what's going to happen, but we're fucking dreading it because now it's the fog and the mist, and we don't
Hmm.
know anything about it. And then yeah, I think that like that's the way I interpret it was a moment that you're like, oh shit, this.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a blend of the two, actually,
Mm,
That's
because
cool then. So we kind of have a spectrum of the
yeah,
topic in a way.
yeah. But although I think the choices I made, because you wanted us to pick three games, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, if possible. I just
Yeah,
thought I
so
might give it a
possible.
bit of variety.
I mean, I was able to pick loads, but I narrowed it down. I
That's
narrowed it
great.
down
No,
to
you can keep going because I don't have that many.
I was narrowing it down to three that you probably wouldn't have at all. Um,
Oh, interesting.
but they were definitely moments of the oh fuck's sake, this bit. They were
All
definitely
right,
things
okay,
that griped me, annoyed me, or just kind of
sure.
could even possibly slow down the flow of the game. When you're on a good run
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, this bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine for some people, like something like the EE escort mission in MGS2 might be a moment
Mm.
that you're like, oh
That's yeah,
God.
that's another that
That's
are
that's one
actually
that you would think of, where you have her on your back and you're swimming and you're going, ah, if I could fucking skip this bit, I would because I love this game. But Jesus, uh,
Yeah.
it's just so funny that I picked you up that way rather than the way that you meant. Because now when I hear you like explain it more,
Mm.
actually, like yeah, the dollhouse in Village is one of the first things that would come into my head. Of the I love that, but
Hmm.
I dread it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh god, here we go again, and I gotta stomach this sequence. But
Yeah.
afterwards, I will talk about it as the highlight of the game.
hmm.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Uh,
for sure. Yeah,
but
it's
that's
what
like
it's
different,
like
yeah,
it's like a moment where you know if someone's going to be playing it, you want to watch that bit. You want to
yeah,
watch them experience that
yeah,
bit.
yeah. That's so
It's
Me
interesting,
like
guided Chris through Resi 2 remake. It's
yeah.
like it's like
right?
I can't wait for him to meet Mr. X. But also, oh my God, he's gonna meet Mr. X.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I can wait. I can wait for that. I do dread that. Okay, so regardless then for people listening, like regardless of your interpretation of that statement, moments you dread in games you love, however you want to interpret that, still list those moments, list those games, and maybe explain like for you what would that mean, and there's clearly a couple of different ways you could take that. Uh, Adam, given that you know, were the one that suggested the topic. And also, I'm looking at it as like you're looking at it as a positive, and I'm looking at it as a negative. We might like
Yeah,
work
yeah, yeah.
down the spectrum a bit. Let's start positive and start with some of your picks. And I did say to the guys if we could pick three games each just to give the whole thing a bit of variety, but we might not have three games. We might have more. We'll see. So,
Yeah, I just want to have honorable mentions actually, just because they're not games I can say that I've actually played or um
mhm.
want to.
I know exactly what you mean. I think it's okay to say that.
Yeah, yeah, but
I
I
think they
fucking
count.
I love it regardless.
Yeah.
Alien Isolation
Mm.
is
Right.
a game
Mm.
that
Yeah.
I can't. I
That's a
just
no.
can't do it. But I
Dread
love it.
that. Yeah.
Love it. I
I love that.
bought it.
Love that you can't play that. I love that for you.
And similarly, actually, I was gonna say Resident Evil 2 remake actually because
Yeah.
I can't play it. I just
No.
can't do it. I'm playing through the Resi 2 board game at the moment, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I just a bit of on a bit of a Resi high. So I was watching a
So
video
good, isn't it?
which was someone ranking the Resident Evil games from least scary to the most scariest. And
Interesting.
they were talking about all of them as well. It's like every single one, spin-offs and everything, originals, remakes, all of them. And I was watching it with Megan, and when it got to Resident Evil 2 remake, she was like, "Wow, that like just that one clip like affected you." Like it was just a clip of Mr. X walking towards the player.
Hmm.
Yes.
And that had such a reaction. Like, and I just cannot play that game because of that.
Yeah.
If it's anything to do with like a stalker based enemy, but it's amazing. I
But
love
yeah,
it.
your heart races, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a very effective fear.
Yeah. It's a pity I can't play it
What did they
because I would
class?
love to experience it.
What did they class as the scariest? I'm just really curious now. In that
7.
particular ranking, 7. I think
7.
that's fair. Yeah, 7 is like all throughout pretty fucking
Yeah.
scary.
I
Doesn't
would
really
I would put 2 remake over it, but but it's just
yeah.
it depends on what you
What you find scary?
find. Yeah, because I think 7 the opening is very like, but I just think Resident Evil 2 is basically 7 the opening, but as for the majority of the game, like, you
Mm.
know, whereas once you get past Jack, I think the game is fine.
And I
Yeah,
think
same.
I remember as well though when we recorded the Resident Evil Village, Eric had finished it before us, so he was giving us
Yeah.
like his review. And now maybe things have changed since because you know you have 4 out as well, and you've replayed games and things like that. But at the time, I remember like Eric being like, "No, this is the scariest Resident Evil I've ever played." Like was Village was, you know.
Hmm.
Wow.
Would that still hold true to you, Eric?
Well, now that there's the DLC Shadow of Rose, yes, because that
Yeah, they made it
that
scarier.
yes, they
Yeah,
did.
I could see that.
That bit with the dolls is just like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
pretty terrifying.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because Mr. X is scary, but for sure, like don't get me wrong, but I do think that the for me personally, it's when my ability to be able to defend myself is robbed
Is when
is
you're scared.
is when I'm scared. Because in
Okay.
Mr. X, you can run, you can go
Mm.
into safe rooms, you're safe there. You can shoot him in the head a couple times, you'll fall over and stuff like that. And there are points in the game where he's not around and stuff like that, which is fine. And obviously, I've replayed that game so many times. I'm able to like run past him, like you know, what I mean, I
Yeah,
can,
you know it now.
yeah, I can mess around with him. It's hilarious.
Mm.
But I can't mess with the giant fetus coming towards me. I can't mess with the dolls that
Yeah.
are stalking
Mm.
after you. You know what I mean? I can't mess with that stuff. So therefore, I'm like, no, I just have to play how they scripted it, which
Yeah,
is
I think it is interesting because like I was actually totally fine with that bit, and I was
mm,
grand with PT, and I was grand with Layers of Fear.
Yeah,
So there's like there's so I think for me when I know the puzzle is I just need to run and hide. Like
mm,
that's the mechanic. That's all I have to do. It's now that's what I'm focused on is the running and the hiding part. So I know I can't defeat it. When there's the potential that I have weaponry, but if I use my weapons, like I might need that later.
mm.
Now you're robbing me of munition in a moment where I'm unsure if I can defeat you.
Well,
That kind of
you should
that's why like Alien Isolation is that as well, you see. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
yes. No, Alien Isolation probably would be the scariest because
In terms of
it,
stalker enemies.
yeah, because he doesn't leave you alone ever. Like,
yeah, it's just
and then he gets used to your weaponry. When you like, I remember one time I was in an event and he came. I was there trying to analyze his movements like an idiot because he doesn't fucking he can't do that. And then
mm,
he came into the vent after I could see him coming the whole way down. I took it to flamethrower, bang, right, flamethrower, blah blah blah. Okay, it must be gone. As the flames subsided, he just burst out at me through the flames.
mm.
He got used to the flames. I was
I
like,
mean, it is incredible, isn't it? It's incredible what
yes.
they did. Adam, while you're on the Resident Evil high, because obviously uh we haven't had you like regular on the podcast in some
Mm.
time. So, uh, are you excited at all for RE9?
Yeah, I haven't actually
You
seen
seen any of
anything
it?
on it. No, no,
Oh,
other
okay.
than the logo. I just saw the logo and went, "That's awesome. I'll take that. Thank you."
Are you gonna you're gonna go in blind and not look at anything?
As much as I can.
Okay, okay,
As
cool.
much as
No,
I can. Yeah.
then I will
That's
say nothing. And then I'll
yeah.
say nothing.
Mm.
That is one thing I love about the Resident Evil department of Capcom. Is
Yeah.
that we've gotten to that point now where they can literally just go, "Here's the next Resident Evil," and everyone will go, "I'm getting it, absolutely."
I think Capcom are one of the most reliable game studios out there.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever
Yeah.
since 7, whatever happened, because even like, and regard like I'm not into everything that Capcom do, but if you look at like the Monster Hunter series since then, if you're into them, have like they exploded. If you look at like Street Fighter since then, you know, like they started putting out Game of the Year fighting games, you know,
Mm.
like yeah, Capcom have just been absolutely killing it, and I think they're one of the most reliable game
And
studios
they've
out there.
like this is like their second time doing this too. because their first
Mm,
time was like when they did Resident Evil the remake, and then Resident Evil
right.
0, and then Resident Evil 4. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
they had
yeah. That was the
and they
first
had
resurgence. Yeah.
yeah, and the Devil May Cry series and stuff, which
Hmm.
was like big at that time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just hope they don't mess this up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's once they remake RE5 and they go a little too faithful. That's when we'll be like, I know you shot the bed again. Just calm down, calm down. But anyway, so let's get into your picks then, Adam, because I suppose they were just honorable mentions, right?
Yeah. Um, the the one that I was just like, this is the one that really sparked the topic for me was one of my favorite games of all time, which is The Last of Us, the first one,
Okay.
Last of Us Part One.
Yeah.
Um, and it is just a phenomenal game. You'd love to go into it, but I think this moment, every time you say it, anyone who's played the game gets the same feeling, and that's the hotel basement.
Yeah. Yeah. Go down to
Anytime
that
you
generator.
mention, yeah,
Yeah.
anytime, and you know as well, because you've
Yeah.
played enough horror games to like, it's like, oh, I have to go down into the dark basement to turn on the generator, and you're just I just think it in terms of um the design, the sound, the level design, all of it is just spectacular. That it
Yes.
just relies on all those tropes that builds up that anticipation. To this day, if I'm replaying that game, I still dread it. And I think that's what makes it really, really powerful, that section.
Hmm.
And if you're watching someone streaming it,
Yeah.
that's the moment you want to watch too. You know, that's the bit
Yeah.
where you're like, I can't wait till they get to the hotel basement.
It's masterfully done. It's so funny though because like, so in my interpretation of the sentence, I'm like, yeah, that's the bit I also dread in that game. I don't want to play it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I want to
yeah.
skip that bit, but it is like I applaud them for what they pulled off there, and like I also like did think of like The Last of Us Part Two. However, given that we said moments we dread in games we
We
love,
love, yeah.
it's a bit complicated because my relationship with that game is very mixed. I like it. I don't know if I love it.
Hmm.
But I do think about the moment in the hospital as sort of the basement moment of that game, which is the God, I
Yes.
love that they did that, and I'm dreading coming up to it again, you know?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah. And it's one of those moments too, and you probably get this in all these type of experiences, whether it's a moment you really, really um like applaud them for,
Mm,
or it's a moment that you absolutely question why they fucking did it in this game.
right, yeah.
Every time you replay it, we probably all have our own little quirk, our little way of getting past it in
Mm.
the fastest way possible.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you're like, you've memorized what way the enemies are going to come. You have a very specific loadout. You're even leading up to it. You're preparing for it.
You're like, oh yeah, this is coming, so now I need
Yeah.
to.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it's that feeling which
Yeah.
changes your decision making in the game,
Mm.
even on a replay. I think it's just so powerful, and I think it's one of the finest moments in a game that if you're unprepared, it's effective. If you're prepared, it's still effective.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it actually empowers your second playthrough.
Yeah,
You know, because your
yeah,
second playthrough is not just going through the motions. Now your second playthrough is uh, based on expectation as well. You know?
yeah, yeah. And you
Yeah.
might discover something new then as well on moments like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one that really, because it is a game that I think about a lot. I've
Hmm.
always had really, there's such fond moments in that game as well. Like
Hmm.
there's good highlights in the moment, like in that game, but they're only effective as the worst moments. And I think the hotel basement tops it. There's a couple of other moments that are like, oh God, but that one I think is when you're separated.
Yeah. In that way where you love it, I get similar feelings with like the winter chapter, which is probably my favorite chapter of the game. But I
Yep.
also, because I feel less powerful, I
Hmm.
feel more vulnerable in winter. So when winter comes but in that way of, that's not one where I'm like, I want to skip this. That's just one though where I'm like, oh God, here we go. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
in the way
yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. What was your other one?
Uh, well, I when you said let's come up with three, I was like, oh God, yeah. Now I have to think. Actually, is there any other
Is there
moments?
any others
Just
that do it?
just because like my favorite games, I think I just don't have any moments really that I actually dislike in them, or that
Yeah.
I that weary of them. But I think they are just horror games. I think horror games are the ones that just do it.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm gonna say Resident Evil 4, the original,
Hmm.
um, and that is the Regenerators.
Yeah, that one popped into my head, and I was like, I'll leave that off my list because one of you two is going to say it
Yeah.
for sure.
In either interpretation of the sentence.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I would say that even more so than the remake, actually, because the remake I will replay, and I don't actually get that feeling as much as the original.
I think they're
And
scarier in the original. I will.
I don't know
I
what
agree.
it is really. I think it could be. I think the sound design is much more effective in the original. I think the sound design is
Maybe.
kind of they're way better at location based sound in newer games in the remake. In
Mm.
the original, they weren't as good as that,
So it was
which
it was everywhere.
it was just right in your ear. It's like it's right there, and you don't know where they are, and it's really really freaky. And that sound built up in your head something that was even more terrifying, even what they were. But I think it could also be that in the new one, the remake, they're they're much faster, which makes it sound scarier, but actually you're it makes it more action then because you're now quickly shooting them or you're quickly aiming for the bits. When you see them slowly coming up, you're like trying to figure this thing out. Like you don't even know what it is. You're shooting at it, it's still not going down. Um, so I think the changes they've made in the remake is not as scary. But I can see why people would still find it scary.
Oh,
But in
definitely.
but if I was going to replay the original, that to this day, that and maybe the house sequence or
Oh
the
yeah.
or the Chainsaw Sisters.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot actually in that original game that's like, I don't want to do this bit, but I applaud everything that they've done, but I don't want to
um,
put myself through this right now. It's so funny though, like, because I'm thinking about like, like a few moments ago when you were talking about like, sometimes you even change your loadout or make decisions based on something that's coming. So
mhm.
like, I remember playing the remake, and I was in like the one of the labs, and they're all in the like the test tube things, and and this is my first playthrough. But because of my knowledge of the original, I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna pick this thing up and they're all gonna burst out, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
shoot them now. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
started shooting the tubes to try to take them out one at a time because I was like, when they all burst out, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I did the exact same. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But fun
let's
fact,
avoid that.
they don't.
I know, but but on my first playthrough, I didn't know that because I wasn't giving them a chance.
I think I just what
Some
did
of them
I
do though, don't they? Some
I
of them
think I
do.
think one of
Yeah,
them does, but
One of
yeah.
them
not
does.
all of it. You see, you have to go back. There's
A
a way
side
to
mission.
merch. Yeah, it's a side mission to
Hmm.
go kill one of them,
Right.
and then when you try to kill that one, then they'll all burst out, and that's a pain in the arse.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Okay.
need to get their wrench or something, isn't it? And one
Hmm.
of them swallowed it,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like on the original, I was definitely dreading that point because I knew they were going to be in it. And now I was on the island. And I was like, oh God, when are they going to come into it? Then I get closer to the lab and I was like, oh no. So, and then when he did the stretchy arms and grabbed me the first time, that did scare me at a point because I was like, oh fuck, I can't stay away from them now. But I do get what you mean
Mm.
that they're fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like I mean, for some people that probably is
Hmm.
what does it for them that is scarier. It's I'm not saying that they're not going to be scary. I mean, I'm fucking terrified to play Resi 2, which for some people might be way easier than 4 to get into, but it's just different
Yeah.
things are going to affect us.
Everything's
But
scary, different people, of course. Yeah,
yeah,
but I
Yeah,
think as well
I suppose it's the unstoppable slow walking juggernaut
is it
is a
terrifies
quite
you.
menacing. It's like Terminator. It's quite
Yeah.
like, oh fuck. So
yeah,
Yeah.
they struck the balance really well in that original. Um,
But I think as well, one of the other things that plays into the, especially when it comes to like RE4, like the difference in playing the original versus the difference playing the remake in any of those comparable sections is that the janky controls of the original make you feel less of a badass. Leon's a badass, but I'm not a badass when I'm Leon. Leon's a badass in the cutscenes, whereas in the remake, I'm a badass too. And I'm like,
Yeah, you're way more
I'm
capable.
scared, but I can definitely take these guys. I can do this.
Yeah, you're way more capable.
So I feel less powerful if anytime I've played the original.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not knowing what's going up behind you too. And
Oh.
that sound as well is probably that probably does feed into that as well because you can't see behind you. So that sound, if you hear two, you don't know if one's behind you right now. You know,
yeah.
it is yeah. So that is a moment where, but if I was to take it from your the way you interpret it, I could also say,
for a third entry.
I could also say RE4.
Yeah, go on, give it to us, because like, well, let's face it, we all have this in that interpretation.
Literally any moment with Ashley.
Yes.
It's funny actually where because if we go back to the Last of Us, you know, when you're separate from Ellie and you're down into the hotel basement, there's this fear that you're now alone.
Yes.
That Ellie, it's not. Yeah, I suppose you do feel like she's genuinely helpful.
Yeah, well,
actually-
like we've all said it, the Last of Us fixed the escort mission
Yes. Yeah.
problem that used to exist, which was it used to be a fuck, like you were
Yeah.
making the game harder and less fun to play.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's also this little bit of a, if I'm going through this, what is she going through? There is that fear as well, that connection to the character. Whereas with RE4, and I would say even in the remake, I enjoy every single moment where I'm not with Ashley.
Yeah,
More so than
I
with
do think
Amanda.
in the remake they did fix the amount of times you have to save Ashley to be reunited with Ashley, and for Ashley to get captured again, you've got to save her again. And
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
okay,
like
yeah.
they
that's
certainly
so
toned
much-
it down. Yeah.
Yeah, they toned that down, which was slightly nicer. But yeah, like even with RE4 remake, I was dreading the point when I had to play as her. Because that bit's quite stressful in the original,
Yeah.
and then the remake, I'm like, what are they going to do? Because they can do a lot more because you have a lot more mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bit was quite. That was a stressful moment with all those fucking nights.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Did you have another entry, Adam, or am I just shooting?
No, I mean,
Alright.
one might come
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
but
as we go,
but
yeah,
that's those would be the two that I hold those two games just so high up. But if I was to replay them, those are the moments where I'm kind of like, oh god, I wish there was a bit of
Squeaky bum time.
a skip button here.
Yeah,
Not because
yeah.
I don't want to do it, but because I don't want to do it, you know?
I know what you mean. Yeah. But when I get around to my go, it'll be because I don't want to do it. Full
I
stop.
get
But anyway, Eric.
Yeah, so honorable
it's yours.
mentions. Honorable
Sure,
mentions is those. The EE moment from MGS2.
Yeah.
Protecting Ashley, more specifically in the original of remake, the regenerators from RE4 remake.
RE4, you mean the original?
Well, the both
In both- in
the
this case,
regenerators
okay.
in both games.
Yeah.
So a lot of those, the regenerator from Dead Space, both the original and the remake.
Yes.
I read that.
Yes. Fuck that. Big time. But I love that one.
Yeah, it's a great game, but fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But for me, for the three entries I went with to make sure that I wasn't going to be taking any of yours or you weren't taking any of mine. The first one I'm going to go with is Spider Lady from The Evil Within.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
time. No, thank you.
No, thank you, but also great, but also
Yeah. So you are kind of a mix of the two then, in a way.
yes, because like the moment is like you're going in the hallway and you can see all the bodies. And you're like, oh, I know what's coming up. And then
Yeah.
it screams and it's the arms. You're like, fuck, run away! All right, and it's scary. And then when you have to deal with her and stuff the first time, and then it's quite stressful. And then you defeat her. You're like grand. You're like grand. And you just go through the rest of the game. You're grand. You keep going. You're grand. Then all of a sudden, I think you're in the hospital again, and you go through a hallway. There's a gothic window, big gothic church window, and lightning strikes as she crawls up it. And I was just like, I just stopped there in a moment. Oh fuck! Oh, no fucking way! So you have to deal with her again. Oh my god! And she's so stressfully annoying because you're now in these really tight furnace Silent Hill style corridors, and you have to
Oh
turn these
yeah.
valves
I
to
remember that. Yeah.
fire and get her, and then you have to keep going and stuff. And for the very end of it, it's a very compact room, and you have to wait for the elevator. So you have to just try survive as much as possible as
Mm.
she's trying to get you. If she gets you, it's 1-8 kill. But one of the annoying things is there's a trophy to kill her in that moment. And also, if you kill her, you get a collectible piece to put on this big map, which is also part of a trophy. I could not kill her for the life of me. So that moment is kind of stuck with me as a moment where
And
I'm
it's
like,
only in that
fuck you.
moment that you can get that, or is
Yeah,
it
the
if you kill? It's
no,
only
second
second
time.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because the
'Cause
first time you have to beat her, the second time you don't have to.
oh, okay.
So the second time, yeah, she's very tough. I pumped bullets into her. I think I fired rocket launchers into her. I could not kill the bitch.
Fuck her.
Fuck, I don't even know. And I was playing on the easiest difficulty. I was fully upgraded, so I don't know.
Is she like the scariest thing in video games? Maybe. Is she one? She's up there, right?
Hmm.
Maybe not the scariest, but she's up there in terms of the scary monsters of video games. She has to be up there.
Yeah, she's definitely up there,
She
Well,
right?
she
terrifies me.
screams like a banshee. She's got the head of the thing from Ring, and she's like a spider. So that's three of the scariest things.
Do I recall
And
seeing you play that a few times, and I don't know. I think you got like the hang of it. You got
Er-
really, really used to it.
Eric's got a diva within both 1 and 2, though. Yeah, Eric's just.
Yeah. So is that still a moment you dread even on replays, or are you now like, ah, yeah, I can do this.
I haven't played the first one in a long time. If I was to download that and play that again,
You would dread it.
I would dread it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because she's scary. No matter what, she is scary. And that's a moment where I suppose, like what you're saying, you still have guns, but you can't stop her. She just
Mm.
keeps. There's no way of
Mm,
slowing her down. It's not like Mr. X where you get stunned, or Jack from Resi 7 where you get stunned. She doesn't get stunned. She'll just keep coming towards you, and then she teleports. She fucking teleports towards you,
Oh
then
yeah, yeah.
grabs you and smashes your face in. So it's like just an unstoppable, scary spider lady. But very iconic in this design. So that's an honorable mention. Oh no, that's one of my main entrances. I remember there was Evil in 2 had Ghost Lady, and I was dreading her the first time I was playing it because she's creepy as fuck. I'll say nothing about her, but she's creepy as fuck. But that'll be another honorable mention because that's a great game. My second entry is poison areas in Souls-like games.
okay, okay. Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
Is it
Uh,
like or like games full stop? Poison areas.
yeah, poison areas in games, all of them.
But specifically games like that where it's like these are already hard.
Yeah, well, all the like every other area is like, oh, it's like a difficult puzzle challenge I need to figure out.
Right.
Right, I need to shoot the giant spider in the eye 3 times to defeat it. Just to make reference to compare it to Legend of Zelda because Adam doesn't like it. No, but like every other area is, and it's more specifically, it's Demon Souls because I
Okay.
love the remake of Demon Souls. I
Yeah.
do. And there's like points where like a dragon is breathing down on a fire, so you have to time it and stuff like that. And there's all these moments where these enemies are, there's certain tactics of beating enemies, a certain kind of like patterns you have to follow. So they're all a challenge, a little puzzle. You figure it out. But poison areas, and specifically in Demon Souls, because you're in this dark cave, massive cave, swamp as far as the eye can see. When you enter it, you can only walk unless you hold the sprint button. So then it turns into a jog.
Mm.
But your stamina is now depleting. Your poison is building up. There's weird giant octopus flower things in it trying to kill you. Then when you land onto little slivers of land, there's enemies that have like little poison dagger knives trying to kill you as well. So then you have to try roll away from them or block them. There's even big ones that can hit you really hard and stuff. So it's just this area that's just like, this isn't a puzzle. This is not something for me to figure out. This is just difficult. This is stupid difficult. And
Right.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate it so much. It's like
This
and
is
it's the
rage
moment-
quitting difficult.
Yes, and it's the
Yeah.
moment that like I'm on a good flow with this game, and then this point, and I'm like,
Right, right.
"Fuck you, Jesus, goddamn
It's
Christ!"
just to test
stop.
your limits at that point, is it?
Yes, absolutely. And it's just because it's just a sliver of land, and then once you get past the first area, oh look, more swamp, and then you have to go up this little like rickety board pathway, really skinny. And as you're going up, then these like flies come down to hit you. If they hit you, you fall off, and now you're down at the swamp, and then you're like, I have no land to go to. Ah, and it's just horrible and annoying, and just and like nearly all the swamp areas in those games are the same. They're not fun puzzles. They're just hard. I think another honorable mention, Bloodborne, to give that a shout. It's actually not the swamp area, although that is annoying. The poison area. It's towards the end of the game. You're in like a weird, like blood moon version of the city of Yarnum, and you kill the enemies, but they'll just instantly respawn. So the enemies don't stop; they just keep coming, and that's an annoying part as well. So those parts where it's just like this doesn't. This just feels like a moment where you run. That's it.
Yeah. How have they not announced a remake to Bloodborne yet? Like, do PlayStation not want money? Like
I
that
don't
would
know.
that would print money for them. Coming to PC and PS5, made by Bluepoint. Like, did it?
Oh, right, okay. Made by someone else. Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
if it's a rights thing. Like
Yeah.
I know
I don't know.
PlayStation have rights to the IP, but I wonder if it's like a shared thing. I wonder how much creative control they have over it,
It
actually.
obviously is, and it's complicated because people also ask, like, how come, like, if you look at From Software's other IPs and they are coming to the other consoles and stuff, it's like it's clear that like the fact that there's no port of Bloodborne to the other things, including PC. I still think there's no PC port, is there?
I don't think so. No.
Because if there was, that would have been a big deal.
Hmm.
And like thumbnailed everywhere. But yeah, like obviously From Software would probably like to do that, but
Hmm.
PlayStation maybe have a hold on it. And then maybe PlayStation want to do something with it, but From Software have a bit of a hold on it and they can't agree on anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like I just remember like when me and Eric were at the PlayStation concert earlier this year,
Hmm.
for the 30th anniversary, and like obviously everyone was popping for all the tunes, but like when as soon as like, and I mean I didn't recognize it because I haven't played Bloodborne, but as soon as there was reference to Bloodborne and they played the Bloodborne theme, the place erupted.
Mm,
Like the reverence for that game is ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I just anytime Eric brings it up, I'm always like, how are they not just using like with the amount of like times they get you to replay The Last of Us, uh,
Yeah.
and like we love The Last of Us, but you know what I mean? It's like Sony love to print money. Like, why the fuck are they not just like
Did any with Bloodborne? Yeah.
milking
Because I
that?
mean, like
Yeah.
Blue Point were the ones that made the Demon Souls
That's what I
remake,
mean.
and
Like
that's
this would
really
be
good.
like the
Yeah, it
perfect
doesn't.
next one to do.
They wouldn't even need to do that either. Like all they would have to do is like make it 60 frames in 4K assets,
And
and that would
people would
still sell.
lose their mind. Yeah, yeah, and put it at full
Man,
price.
even if
There
you
you
ever
go.
see any of those demakes of Bloodborne, where it's Bloodborne
Yeah.
PS1
Yeah,
graphics,
it
even if
looks
they
like
did
Silent
that,
Hill and stuff.
yeah,
People
even if they
love
did that,
that
people
shit.
would buy it. Man, they
People
could make it a
love that
Man,
fucking
shit.
I'd
eight.
fucking buy it. I don't even like Bloodborne, but like those demake things, I absolutely love. I think
They
they're
are
so
very
good.
impressive.
When you love just any kind of official demake, just for the pure, I
Yeah.
feel like a child playing this. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I'd play it with no memory card because I didn't know what it was at the time.
yeah, yeah. And I
Just
go,
leave the
I
console on for a
always
weekend.
love the start of this game. Whatever it is. Yeah. No, awesome, awesome. Okay, Eric, what was your third entry?
A third entry, right? Is I think it happens in the God of War games, but it definitely happens in Uncharted. This is more like a mechanic
Oh, sure.
that I
Okay.
that I dislike
Okay, you
because it
dislike?
get
Do you dread it?
I dread it because it stops the flow of gameplay.
I'm interested to understand how this. Okay, go on.
Definitely Uncharted 4, definitely on the Italy mission.
Okay.
Italy mission, right?
When I know, and it's definitely in other games.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say now. Okay. Yeah.
When
Okay.
I know where I have to go, when I know what
Yeah.
I have to do, but I have to wait for the other person to tell me, and it slows the entire process down. And I'm like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
Which
fine.
is so it's only designed for a first playthrough, and if it does not
Yes,
work on a subsequent playthrough.
yes. And so
And you have to
That
wait for them to walk from there to there, and
and
then
it
they have to
takes
say something, and you're just standing there
ever.
basically. It's basically just a glorified loading screen, really, at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And like it's really prevalent then
That's
in
so true.
the children chapters. So it's
Yes.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
those parts aren't that entertaining because they're not the high octane moments,
yeah.
Yeah.
but they're now also stopped with the I have to wait for him to walk over there to
Yeah.
say something about that, to then walk over there, to then point at that. And I'm already over there going, yeah, I know I have to get up there. Let me point it out. Like we just
Yes.
don't take away the player initiative. Let me have initiative.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
That's
almost as
true.
if they need to do a and if there's uh like on a recognize if this is a second playthrough, which they have the data, they would know that,
Mm.
is to change up how that bit works. So yes, if you go over to a bit, there should be like triangle. You press that, and then your character says, "Hey, it's over here," and it just
Yes,
immediately brings like just allows you to go through.
because I
Because
was
it
Then
is.
playing.
again, then again, that leads the whole. Well, why don't you just introduce that in the first playthrough as well? What
But
difference does
Well,
it make?
the
no, but they
first
should
playthrough
have it in
always works,
both.
though, right? It does work.
Well, I don't know if it even does because it's
It's
like
boring, isn't it? You know.
it is. I actually don't know a single one of those moments where I'm like, wow, that was riveting.
No,
You
I
know?
know. I know. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I
how
think
I love that you brought that up actually as just a recurring mechanic and I would say largely, and you know, we're probably fucking PlayStation stands in a way, but I would say largely in the Sony first party games is where you will find that.
It's
yeah, that's what I was
adventure games,
thinking. Like,
isn't it?
Mm.
yeah,
It's
it's
adventure games that are not allowing you as the player
to have an
to
adventure.
To
well
have an adventure.
to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's almost like the it's nearly on the
I love
same
that.
vein as was it Horizon and the Tomb Raider games. You when you enter a dungeon and it's like, oh, I must go up that ladder and pull that crank, and you're like, what the
Yeah, it's like
what
I
what
haven't even
ladder?
seen the
What?
thing you're talking about yet. Like,
It's
let me look
almost
Yeah.
around first.
it's almost like that, but instead you're like, oh, I need to get up that ladder and pull that crank. Why can't I do why won't it let me do that? And then the
Mm.
other person has to go, oh, we have to get up this ladder and pull that crank. It's like I fucking know that. So it's
Yeah, it's
almost the
interesting.
same vein.
I
Like
wonder
it's
why they feel like they need to be doing that. I understand it from a maybe as an accessibility feature, to offer hints and offering hints within dialogue is way more immersive than just a little thing up on your screen.
Yes.
But the fact that that's the default,
Yeah, like
before it even gives you any moment to try and even figure it out.
if you could trigger the hint when you need
Mhm.
it, then it'd be okay. But yeah, I know you would fucking love Eric the Indiana Jones game then, because Jesus Christ, those puzzles give you no fucking hints.
no, yeah, but then again, like
Infuriating.
I do like the Alan Wake 2,
Yeah, do
all
I?
those chests, the amount of times I had to Google the answers because I'm like, oh, like I'm not a detective here. I don't have a PhD in fucking astrophysics. Will you stop with these fucking puzzles?
Yeah.
So I'm not that smart, but I'm also just like I don't mind
Me neither.
when
I'm not either.
I don't really I never notice the whole oh I have to get up there straight away. But I know that that is a gripe with people, right? But
Mhm.
I just like I was playing Plague Tale Innocence earlier in the week,
Mm.
and as I was playing it, I was- sorry, side note, the way you went reminded me of that video Adam you
Yeah,
sent
I'll
me.
be honest. The moment I did it, I also reminded myself of it, and I was like, I fucking hate myself now. I like anytime you say something, I'm like, oh my god, I love that. That is yes,
Yeah, we should
Real podcast.
job our love is
real
what we should
podcast. Yeah,
do.
job your love, job your love.
Hi, Abby. And so like I was playing Plague Tale Innocence earlier in the week, and I remembered what I was able to do, so I was just able to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But if I couldn't remember, so Hugo or Lucas or whoever would point it out to me. You know what I mean? And it's like so they need to put that into games rather than just the I have to stand here and wait for ages for whatever else for someone
them to
else to
try
spot it.
something, and then they go, no, wait, that's not working, or like you have to climb something, and then that has to break before you do the next thing.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just it's very like it's breaking the flow of my experience to play a game, which is
Hmm.
again where I think Resident Evil is so good right now because it's just a game that is it's such a game it's such a playground. At the first time you're playing it, it'd take forever because you're walking everywhere and you're scared shitless. And then the second time you play it, you run through and you're messing out with things, you're messing with the zombies, and it becomes a playground. While, hey Ali, while those games like Uncharted 4 is notorious for just having the bloody weight.
Yeah, I actually get that because that's another game I
Yep.
absolutely love.
Yes.
It's could be my favorite Uncharted just from
I think we figured out that it was
a
before.
story perspective and stuff.
No.
But I agree. Yeah, that is it's not one that I am willing to jump back into
As
because
quickly, yeah.
of those type of moments. They
Yeah,
just
and
really just drags it.
and the points with the kids as well is like really, really quite mind wrecking because
Yeah.
it's the gameplay is already slow, and then you're also met with that as well, so
Yeah.
it's slower again.
The Last of Us, I don't know if the first one has as much. It's a little bit towards the beginning, but I would say part two definitely, especially like in Abby moments where you have to
Yeah.
you're just walking through. You're now halfway through the game, but you're walking through like um their base, let's say, and you kind of have to follow a character. Yeah, those moments can feel really slows the pace a bit.
Had you heard about the chronological mode, Adam?
I've heard about it,
I was
but
giving it a
I haven't
go.
heard anything.
I was giving it a go earlier this year, and I haven't come back to it really. I was, but I actually some of it I think works, and some of it obviously doesn't. Right, so getting the whole game starting with just back-to-back flashbacks doesn't work. However, some of those flashbacks being earlier, I think, are better. And then the fact that day one, day two, like switches between Ellie and Abby, I think actually works really well. I was like, oh, this is way more like, and they're gonna come to a head eventually, you know. This feels narratively more interesting to me. But so I did appreciate that. But
It's like they were trying to do Memento, but didn't.
yes,
That game a little bit.
yeah, I know you just leave it there, but didn't. Nice, Eric. I love how we all came at this like completely differently, but we also all had the same honorable mentions, and this also became secretly a love letter episode to Resident Evil. But so my honorable mentions were also Resi 4, the moments with Ashley, but in the I dread it and I don't want to do it way, but I love the game. Metal Gear Solid 2, the moment with M. Emmerich. Don't want to do it, dread it, love the game. Resident Evil 2 Remake, love the game, applaud the game, don't want to do Mr. X. Oh, thank you. So on my second playthrough, so on my first playthrough, I had Eric as a guide and I got through it all, right? On my second playthrough, I played it up until Mr. X came in and I stopped. And
Yeah,
I didn't
'cause
keep going. I just, no,
Because
thank you.
the second playthrough, that's where some of the doors are unlocked, right? You're coming in from a different entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mr. X randomly comes into it. It's not as scripted. Well, it is scripted, but you just don't know it's going to happen there the first time.
Yeah.
So I also shit myself the first time that happened. I was like,
But
oh, fuck.
I was like, I don't want to do this. I actually don't want to do this. I love
It's
this.
great,
I think this
Chris.
game is amazing, but I don't want to physically
You'll
do
be
this.
fine,
I don't
Chris.
enjoy
You'll
it.
be fine. Just go for it.
So when you first said this, Adam, the like moments you dread and games you love, and my interpretation was obviously that little bit different. The first game that came into my head, which I absolutely love, is Batman Arkham Knight. And it's not like, so the obvious thing is going to be the Batmobile, right? But actually, I don't dread the Batmobile. But there are two sequences with the Batmobile that I dread every time. I don't enjoy playing them, and if I could skip them, I would. One of them is you're down in these tunnels, and the Arkham Knight is in a big fucking drill and chases you.
Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if he hits you once at all, you're dead. So if you make a slight mistake at all, you're dead and you have to do it all over again. And the place is a labyrinth and you don't know where to go and you keep getting yourself lost looking for... You're also trying to complete a task while you do that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. And it's one of those things where it takes you away from the fun gameplay. And it's not like you can go, do you know what, I'll quit this and just go. Like, you literally, it's like, I cannot get back to the Gotham City until I finish this. So now I'm trapped here, and I have to do this shit to get back to the thing I actually like doing, which is gliding around, solving crimes, fighting
I do
criminals.
think it's interesting, isn't it?
You know?
With it's like, oh, we would love if we could have the Batmobile in a game. It's like,
Yeah.
here you go, have it all the time.
Because like, I actually like the chases that you do are really fun. Like, I don't mean the tank battles. I mean the ones where you're like literally chasing cars, then you have to shoot their tires and they flip and
yeah.
stuff. Like, I enjoy those. That's as much Batmobile really as we needed. Just that and getting around.
Yeah, they needed to take a leaf out of the Mad Max game. Actually, the way Mad Max integrates the vehicle combat and just vehicle traversal is pretty much all we needed. Actually,
I love that. And I just reminded myself again. The other moment then in Arkham Knight is you have to fight Arkham Knight, who's also in a tank, and you're like, why are we not fighting hand to hand? This makes zero sense. Like, we should be out Batmaning each other rather than this fucking. But it's like you have to do stealth tank, and you have to sneak up behind him, shoot him, and then run away and lose him while there's other tanks looking for you too. And it's like,
oh yeah, it's awful.
like, you're like Rocksteady. You're like, from the games you've made, including this one, you are so talented. You came up with a whole new gameplay design. Like, you changed combat in gaming for a long time. Like, so innovative. What the fuck were you thinking with this bit? So I'm an Arkham Knight defender. I actually love the game. I think the writing is so good, and there's so much good shit in it that people forget about because of how bad those Batmobile sequences are. But even at that, if I could skip those sequences, I would every time. They are terrible.
I think he's in the Cloudburst machine though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, I don't mind it too much, but I do get what you mean, because you do have the moment when you're stealth trying to take down him. You know, when it's like fully revealed that he's
Yeah.
There's that one.
The gargoyles and all that. That one's fine. I don't mind that one.
The Deathstroke, I think, is worse.
Oh, you have to do it again?
With Deathstroke, yes, you have to fight him on a tank. He gets out of the tank, and then Batman just punches him, and that's it. I'm like, no. We should have recreated the Arkham Origins.
Yeah, because there's like, that was a great boss fight.
Yes, and then sorry, you had a second one, didn't you, or was that?
I've got two more. Yeah, I've got two more.
No, I meant for the Batmobile.
Oh no, that was the two.
Because I think those Riddler fucking things are annoying as hell.
Yeah, they're annoying.
I thought you were when you mentioned the tunnels. I thought you were going to say
no. I actually don't mind the Riddler racetracks.
Really.
Look, I'm in the minority there. I don't mind them. I kind of enjoy them. I don't love them, but I'm not as mad at them as other people are. But no, the one when he's chasing you in the tunnel with the big drill is just because I died so many times the first time. I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing, and I was like, I just want to get back to being on gargoyles and doing stealth takedowns, and this is stopping me from having fun.
Yeah.
So that's a moment that I dread in a game I love. You know, the next one that came to my mind is because I think in some games you dread certain boss fights, right? There are some boss fights that can really make a game are incredible, and there's some boss fights where you're like, I hate this boss fight, and I just want to be past that boss fight. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games of all time. But fuck me, if there was a skip button on Unalesca, I would skip it every time. I fucking hate Unalesca. That fight is, you're just like, I'm so close to like the end game. I just want to now get around, do all the last temples, take on Sin, and do the big epic finale. And this fucking bitch is stopping me. And I've come so far. And I'm so unprepared for this fight every time. I don't know why I'm always no matter how much grinding I've done, I am unable for Lunalesca. Because the first fucking phase, she just wipes your whole party out and stuff, and you're just like healing your party. In the second phase, she's zombifying your party. So now you're doing the opposite. You're like killing your party so you can heal your party. You're just like, oh my god, like I'm literally, and you're only taking down like very, very slight bits of her health at a time, because most of the time you're just trying to undo what she's just done to you.
Man, you should play. You should fight Simon in Expedition 33.
I won't do that.
That is.
I enjoyed Expedition 33. I have no desire to fight Simon. I've heard all the stories.
Yeah. He. He's interested. I'd love to get our friend Paul, who's a big Soul stan.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to get him,
Loves them.
sit him down and go, you play this boss fight now. You
Did you
tell me
beat?
if this is enjoyable.
Did you beat Simon?
No, I still haven't been Simon. I haven't
No.
got. He has three phases to his fight.
Yeah.
I have
Just
not
like you and
gotten.
Alaska.
I have not gotten to the third one, and the third one he is harder than the he. So the first time I fought him,
Yeah.
he hit me and killed me like the entire team instantly, and I was like, whoa. So I started to look up how to beat him, and I was changing how the people work. So that's how I found out how pictos work,
Mm.
how best to use them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did that. I fought him. Then I'm able to get him down to the second half, his second phase.
Hmm.
But I know that when he gets you to the third phase, he just wipes your party out with a click of his fingers, and so the reserves come in. So then you only have the reserves to try
Right.
beat
So
him.
you need them also at the top of their game.
Yes, he's rock, but the music is fantastic. It's beautiful, so it makes up for it.
Yeah, fuck. Well, yeah, and look at I've often thought about, like in some of the other Final Fantasies, they did like remasters, and they added in those like cheat buttons,
Mhm.
right? I have wanted that for Final Fantasy X, not to actually use them, literally just to turn them on for the Unalesca fight, and then turn them off again after the Unalesca fight. I just don't have them. Like, I even enjoy the fight with the big fucking dragon on the airship because I've gotten to a point where I have it down and I feel good about it, But yeah, Unalesca, Dreader every time. Anytime like it's like we're about to go to Xanarkin, I'm like, oh no, because I also don't want to do hours and hours of just grinding. That's not fun to
Yeah,
me either, and that is what's required in the Camlands. In the Camlands, once you get there, you're like, oh, well, for the rest, if I want to be ready for the rest of this game, I just got to spend days grinding on this fucking plain green field, fighting the same enemies over and over. Hate it.
RPGs are an interesting one in this kind of topic because it's like they're not. It's such a time investment. It's such a massive
Yes.
time investment
Yeah,
that
huge.
you will absolutely maybe forget that there's certain moments that will come up that you really, really hate.
Yeah.
So like you've put all this time into it, and then you finally get to that moment. You're like, oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. And now I don't have a save file that takes me back far enough to remedy this.
Yes.
And now it's like either start again or give up. Which is what happened to me the first time I played Final Fantasy X. I had to give up eventually. I was like, oh God, she's impossible. And then my third entry for a game that I absolutely love, but a moment that I dread every time and wish it was skippable or wish it wasn't in the game is, and maybe a lot of people might be playing this for the first time this year based on the remake, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. It's all going incredibly well. High speed chase. It's going amazing. Take down the Shagohod. The pacing is great. Let's get to the end. Let's fight the boss. And then fucking Eva gets stabbed in the side. And you have to do an escort mission with Eva that you don't want to do. And now you have to like lead her along, and their enemies are looking for you, and it's like, we were so close. This was like, you were about to like nail this ending. This was incredible, and then this little chunk of gameplay is thrown in, and it's so unnecessary, and so it's not fun at all. I
No, yeah.
hate
don't-
that
yeah.
sequence.
I absolutely see that. I don't. That one doesn't bother me as much just because it's not that long. Like you get past it quite quickly.
Why
It's
does
not-
it feel like forever when I play it then?
It doesn't seem. It's not. It's certainly not as long as the EE escort.
No, that's true.
So I tend to get past that quite quickly, but I do agree that it seems like an unnecessary addition
I
just
think
at the end.
I think why it bothers me more than the EE one, because the EE one does go on longer and is actually probably less fun to play.
Mhm.
But I think the EE one, in terms of like story placement, is in a better place in the game. Whereas Eva's one is like, this is actually ruining this part of the game
Mhm.
when all is going so well and it's time to go, go, go. I don't know. How do you feel
Yeah,
about
I'm
that
wondering-
bit, Eric? You like the Eva bit?
Uh,
Never bother you?
I don't I know the
Nobody
moment.
shares my pain?
I know the moment. I can't really remember it as much. I don't know if it's as bad as, but I suppose this moment's at a slightly better place because it's not the end of the game. But I don't know if it's as bad as Europe in Metal Gear Solid 4. You have
Oh,
to
sure,
fly.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fuck me, yeah.
That's a great one. That's a great. Yeah,
It's just what
yeah,
you were talking about. I was like, all right, what are all the
yeah.
escort missions in the game?
100%.
So,
I dread
yeah.
that bit too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a couple of moments in that game actually that I dread.
yeah. Even though overall it's like I love that game, but actually
Yeah. Well,
playing
I
it, I was
love the
like, oh,
movie.
not this bit.
I love watching it.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
best game I've ever watched.
Yeah, yeah.
100%. Best game I've ever
That's
watched.
that's certainly the most deserving of a remake out of
Oh
the
yeah.
entirety. Well, maybe Metal Gear 1, but Metal Gear Solid 4 absolutely needs a remake just because you cannot have access to it unless you have a PS3.
Mm.
It would benefit a fuck ton from the Phantom Pain gameplay in an
Yes.
actual war zone,
Yeah.
expanding those war zones, make them, you know, feel like you're actually taking part in it. Uh, Expanding the Europe section to actually do what I think was initially envisioned. I don't think it was. I think there was more supposed to happen there. Putting actual enemies into Shadow Moses would be phenomenal. So it basically allows you to replay Metal Gear Solid 1 again.
Mm-hmm.
Like those would be such welcome changes, as well as streamlining the cutscenes. I think doing like what Resi 4 did,
Yeah.
in really just getting the main points across is really really needed. Like that is definitely it needs a remake actually.
I would love them to remake MGS4 in that kind of Capcom remake philosophy. I just
Yeah.
don't know if they have the balls to do it because I think based on the Snake Eater remake, what we've seen of it, and it's reviewed very well. And look at because why wouldn't it? Snake Eater is one of the best games ever. So if you give it to me again and it looks shinier, like it's still the same game, really. But
Yeah.
uh, given how faithful they were to it, I don't know if they would in any way change MGS4 out of fear of the how dare you change Kojima's cutscenes without him, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
But I would like them to. As a fan of Kojima,
Hmm.
I would still like someone, if you're going to
Do
reinterpret the
they
game at all, to go in and change and tweak things as you see necessary.
do they like that game though? Because like, I mean, they'll release everything else, they'll remaster
It's
everything
it's
else.
going
It's
to
They'll
be on
complicated.
it, but it's going to be on Volume 2 of the Master Collection.
They kind of have to remake it. Um, they
Oh yeah, because
probably,
of the tech.
yeah, they probably will do it in what Chris is saying there, where it's basically just going to be the same game. I don't think it necessarily. Well, I mean, what they're doing with Delta actually might be a kind of
An overhaul
test,
enough, you
a
know.
test, no, a test to prove to like I imagine there's probably a dedicated MGS team working at Konami, and
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like these upper heads that are like, okay, but is it going to make us any money? And they're probably saying, look, these are probably the plans we want to make. And they're like, no, no, no. Okay, what if we did Snake Eater?
Yeah, as proof of concept, and you
And
know it's going to make money.
yeah, and then they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, but like, we don't want to change it up too much because look what happened to Twin Snakes. It's like, okay, well, we won't change it. We won't change it. We'll actually just, but it's just to prove that it can be done. We can do it in an efficient amount of time. We can show that it is actually profitable and there is a desire for it. It's like, okay, go ahead. I imagine that's probably the type of conversation that went down with Delta more so than a kind of a, oh, we won't want to mess with what Kojima has done. I'm sure there's probably things that they would have liked to have changed, but probably didn't have permission. Um, so if they were to do an MGS4 remake, it's hard. Yeah, they might change it up. They might go,
I
hey,
and I
look,
I hope
this
they do.
doesn't suit the modern gamer. The
Yeah.
modern gamer isn't going to have the attention span here. You know, I think there's a good case again, and because the success of Delta, they kind of have that about behind them now to be able to fight that case. But regardless of whether it gets the Delta treatment or it just looks exactly the same, only in 4K 60 frames, either way it has to be remade.
Right.
Because of the tech, yeah.
It'll just be what will be so interesting, and what will actually fucking annoy you, Adam, is when they call it a remaster even though they remade it. Because
Yeah.
MGS4 remastered might make more money, or have a. It's like, oh, finally, like we get it. It's the port we wanted, and even though they're like, well, we did have to build it from the ground. Like it's so funny the way the words remake and remaster are marketing tools now rather than descriptions of what the product actually is. Because
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy VII remake,
Very clear.
regardless of what it was going to be,
Mhm.
regardless of what it was going to be, has a much higher chance of selling and catching people's eye than the word remaster, right? Like even if it was a 1-for-1, because the culture was asking for it. The fact that the culture was asking for a remaster of Oblivion and not a remake, even though they remade Oblivion, Oblivion remastered is what they want to hear. So it's like those little subtitles have become like marketing tools rather than well, this is what the game actually is, though, which I think is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't Crisis Core technically a remake?
Yeah, it is definitely,
Yeah.
but they market it
They
as a
call it as a
remaster.
remaster. It's like
Yeah.
if it looks kind of similar. There is something about Oblivion actually that doesn't feel like a remake. So I can see how they would the marketing team would look at it and go, well, this is a much more appropriate title for it, regardless of the
Yeah,
operations that went through.
and will sell it better.
I don't know if it's a sell it better as much as a expectations thing. Like if you go into something, yeah, if you go into
And then I go,
something, yeah, just
yeah,
like as a fuck it.
yeah. Fuck's sake.
Love
But
it.
Do you know,
actually,
like when you get the 4K Blu-ray of a movie you fucking love, right?
yeah,
Aliens, for example,
I love that.
and you see how much they've changed to it. Or when George Lucas started adding CGI everywhere into like
Yeah, to the prequels.
the original Star
Oh,
Wars.
sorry, to the originals is what I meant.
The
to say.
prequels was
Yeah.
just CGI.
Yeah, the prequels, yeah. He added real stuff in there.
He added actors into the prequels.
Yeah, but actually, on when you say expectations, and this might be a good closer. When we were talking, I had one more come into my head of moments you dread in games you love, and it was when you were describing how you interpreted it, Adam, where it's like it's not necessarily something that you would remove from the game. Actually, like the ones that I talked about is like I would remove them from the game. I think the
Yep.
games would be more enjoyable if they didn't have those sequences. Whereas it's like, oh, this should be in the game, but I dread it, and I don't want to do it, right? But the game is better for it. And the dread came from not having played the game before, actually, but came from the cultural impact of the game, which was, and you guys were with me, our first time playing Silent Hill 2 Remake, which is a game that fills me with nothing but dread. It really gets under my skin. I think it's the scariest game I've ever played. But
Wow.
and not because any one sequence is the scariest. I think it's that there's no moment of the game where I feel in any way comfortable. You know, like I have Resi 4 moments or Village moments or whatever. It's like I actually enjoy this part. I'm having fun. And in Silent Hill 2, incredibly made, but I don't have. It sounds weird to say this. I don't have fun playing it. Does that make sense? It's like
I think maybe it's a different type of fun.
yeah, I know. I applaud everything that they've done. I can't describe it as fun though because it's like it's horrible.
No, but like if you went to an escape room,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like a dreadful moment and stuff like that. It's a different type of fun. It's hitting different sensory
Kinda, I
things.
guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
kinda,
yeah.
I guess. So yeah, the build up to Pyramid Head was dreading it the whole time. And also was like, I actually don't know what they're going to do with him in this remake, but I know he's coming. And every time there was a little like hint at him or something, it's like, okay, so any moment now, like he's going to be in this game. And like, I don't know, is it going to be like, are they going modern like stalker enemy type thing with Pyramid Head? Is it? Am I going to have to fight him? I just didn't know at all. But the iconography of Pyramid Head.
Yeah.
And just growing up knowing what Pyramid Head was, but not knowing what he was, and just had me for that entire, from the moment push play, just dreading him, which I think is powerful in itself. What a great character design, that even if you've never played a Silent Hill, like I think some people recognize Pyramid Head without even knowing what he's from.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
if
he's
you're a gamer, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, in the gaming space. Yeah, so that's another one where I dread it, but the game is better for it because it's like, yeah, the game needs that character. That character does so much for it. But
For sure.
But now we'd love to hear from all you guys. What are moments you dread in games that you love? In any interpretation of that sentence, whatever that means, whether it's like you dread them, but you do enjoy the dread, but it's like, oh God, here we go again. Or is it a dread in the sense of, I actually wish this wasn't in the game. I hate this part. But it's a game that you do love. Do let us know. So if you're watching YouTube, make sure you jump down into the comments to share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this episode with all three brothers back in the room, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for future content. To those who listen to us on audio platforms, you could touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take. Again, to give your take on the games you dread. No, on the moments you dread. I was gonna say, on the games
That's
you
another
dread,
one.
in the moments you love.
Yeah. Moments you love and games you dread.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah. That could be a topic. But anyway, do let us know. Thanks so much for checking out this week's episode. We'll be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.